I just want to thank you for yesterday's coordination and, the management of both of the sessions. They were amazing.
I like saying a ship is safer in a harbor, but that's not what the ships are made for. Heraclitus, the great Greek philosopher, once said that the only constant in our life is change. So a lot of people would start, record only one video, expect it to be success overnight. It doesn't happen and they give up.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in modern society, people not listening, they're just there waiting for their turn to speak most of the times. So cross the line, break the cycle. I like this phrase. And we are here to assist you as much as possible to help you out. So please bear with me if I don't reply for 5 minutes. I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Welcome to Abed Podcast. Today's guest had made an incredible career change or career shift, you wanted to say it this way. The beginning was from a gym membership manager or consultant to a podcast studio operation manager. Yes, she is from the house, and we are talking. We are talking how she did this transition from being in the fitness industry, which is different industry sector, to podcasting studio, high demanding, stressful kind of industry, because it's a time schedule. People they needed to go online, publishing their episode, or even recording some other businesses related to a proper setup for studios. We're gonna hear from her why and how she did that change and what made her to make this change, of course, with keeping some of the privacy part on that. Without further ado, representing Dubai Podcast Studio, Elena. Welcome to Abed Podcast.
Dubai Podcast Studio, Elena.
Welcome
Hi.
to the podcast.
Such a pleasure to be on your podcast, Abed Pod.
Yes, thank you. For the people who doesn't know you, please introduce yourself.
My name is Elena. That's enough for now.
Okay.
I am based in Dubai Podcast Studio. That's where you can find me most of the times.
Behind the scene.
Behind the scene, yes. I am the person behind WhatsApp messages, always ready to help you out and assist. So I am in Dubai for the last 9 years.
Where is it originally from?
I'm from Ukraine, so relocated here 9 years ago for a year, I thought so, or 2 maximum, and here we go. 9 years later, I'm still here, still enjoying, building my circle here for the 9 years. So I can call my friends, my family already, because they all with me for the last 9 years. Yes, was lucky opportunity that I jumped on.
Very nice.
And I never regretted about it.
We'll come to details. Don't be a rush. We'll get into
Yeah.
details. Let's start from the beginning. What kind of circumstances or conditions made you to consider UAE and Dubai, where I know a lot of people from North Europe or Ukraine or that part of his hemisphere, they prefer to go, for example, to Europe or to the US to kind of reallocation or looking for opportunity. Coming to UAE and Dubai in particular, I find it a little bit an extra step. What's the story behind it?
To be honest, it was just my intuition. Originally, I actually wanted to go to work in Poland, just neighboring country from ours.
Interesting, yeah.
But a great opportunity came on. A friend of mine, she was like, actually, I heard that in Dubai there is amazing opportunity for a large company. It was a hotel group, Jumeirah, that we can apply for. And I heard the same information from another friend of mine. So obviously, straight away in my mind, it's like the universe is trying to tell me something. So I'm very intuitive person. So if I feel that it's right for me, I'm gonna go for it. And just with the help of a friend, I applied and I got the job easily. Like everything was as if it meant to be.
Very nice.
And was the safest trip ever, because it was actually my first time abroad. I was well taken care of, starting from the tickets to Dubai, accommodation was provided. So you're basically, you're just so taken care of by the company. And that's how my journey in Dubai started. I was working for a Jumeirah group.
It's it's well-known group. It's well-known group here in UAE, and I'm sure they take care of their staff. Was that also in the because Jumeirah it's well-known for hospitality?
Yes.
Was that the first job? Then after you moved to the fitness industry, or which was, or it was related to each other?
So let's go back a little bit.
Let's go back a little bit.
So I have a master's degree in linguistics from Ukraine, but then straight after I graduated, I found a job for a Ukrainian company in Ukraine, but working with the US market mainly. It was a software engineering company where I was behind the scenes again, helping and assisting the potential.
That's how it started. Okay.
That's how it started. So I worked there for a couple of months, and then I jumped on the opportunity to go to Dubai. And again, hospitality, so very related field, right? Where I am fulfilling my purpose, where I am helping, assisting, and leading in a way, because, leading with the knowledge I have, and I'm just supporting the clients how to get where they want to.
Exactly, yeah.
So then we moved to hospitality, and from hospitality to fitness industry. So I'm still the same, I'm still helping, I'm still assisting, but in different fields.
So moving, what was the turning point you decided to, I'm enough with the fitness industry, let me look for a new opportunity? What was the turning point?
You know, let me remember, Heraclitus, the great Greek philosopher, once said that the only constant in our life is change.
Absolutely.
So you cannot grow and look for a change in the same environment. By the end of the day, you reach the point where it's like
there is a cap.
Glass ceiling where, okay, I cannot go further.
True.
So I was in the place where I understood that, okay, it's time to change, it's time to grow, because I'm capable of much more. And I have two choices. Either I stay in the same place and I remain the same, or I have opportunity to jump into unknown, to a space that might be scary, might be uncomfortable, but that's the door that I need to open, because behind that door, there is another door that will lead me to the life I want.
In this podcast, our message is always about how to tell people how to break the cycle. And one of them is breaking the cycle of fear. Usually people, they get comfortable when they found a job and they see the surrounding, people, they lose their jobs, or maybe some other companies, they close down and so on and so forth, which is part of the economy cycle. So they say, when I have a job, I will stay in the job. Doesn't matter if he's progressing or not. So where does this power came from? Or where is this strength of not having the fear to jump in? Was it from the people around you? Was it from the families, or you're believing in yourself and your skills?
I would say, so firstly, one of my main core values is constant learning.
Very good.
And constant improving. So once you reach the point that you're not changing anymore and not learning anymore, I tend to get into routine, and routine makes me feel
Stuck?
Stuck, exactly. That's what was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Makes me feel stuck, and that's when I wouldn't call it sadness, but it would be you're just not satisfied with what you have in life. And then you have, again, two options. You have either to go and change something about your life, or get stuck in your
the current situation.
The current situation, or misery, right, in a way.
Yeah.
So when you reach the point that you just, okay, I've learned everything I wanted, I reached the maximum I can in this bubble.
Yeah.
So it's time to change. It's time to go out of comfort zone, cross the line that is called fear. So cross the line, break the cycle, I like this phrase, and jump into unknown, jump into something that might be scary at the beginning, but then it brings you the new opportunities.
True. Taking the step forward, one of them, me going for a podcasting, that was a big step for me. It's driven for a different, that the drive behind it is a different reason. It's not here to say about it for now, but people sometimes really getting stuck between changing industry. Obviously, you have fitness industry and podcasting and studio industry. You might say there is some correlation between them, or there is some common things behind it, but they are different. I see here the past 20 years, the transition, people, especially in the fitness industry, the path is a little bit standard. You work in a fitness chain, like a gymnasium, or you work under a hotel or individual gymnasium. Then you go to a PT. Then you transition to open your own company regarding fitness. You is different. How did you find this jump?
I was actually approached.
Okay.
And again, I jumped on the opportunity.
They call it headhunting in HR.
I would say when you are ready and when you know what you want, the opportunities come.
Very nice.
But you need to have the courage to take it. And
Agreed.
that's why I'm very fulfilled that I actually took on this opportunity, because I was in my comfort zone. I could just continue the way I was, but I chose to jump into unknown. Today, the leitmotif of today's podcast, the main theme is like jumping into unknown. So yeah, jump was successful.
Very good. What was the biggest challenge? You faced it when you did the change? Because now, first of all, switching industries. So you get used to a certain routine in the fitness industry. Now this is different. Why I'm talking now? Because I'm talking from operational point of view. Once you are with a certain process, you get used to it, it's became second nature. When you move to a new industry, it will have a different form, different kind of set of procedures, what you need to do, how can I say, response time. So what is the main challenge that you faced it in the in behind the scenes for managing the studio, podcasting studio?
Yes, of course, like learning everything from scratch, because it's still a different field.
Yes.
Yes, I do have the skills, the active listening, the emotional intelligence that I bring from my previous workplaces, but it's totally new field,
True.
as you mentioned. So a lot of new neural connections were built, definitely. It just, I had very limited time to learn everything and to dive into the process. So straight away, I've got the phone to handle the reservations, to handle the inquiries. And the more you're into it, the more you're enjoying it, and the more you're like surfing through the waves. Let's metaphorically call challenges waves.
Yes, challenges, yes.
And then the way you deal with them is surfing. So
I like that metaphor. The background of in dealing with clients prepared you for managing the operation behind it because some people, they miss sometimes something called accumulative skills. So when you work 5, 6, 10 years, where does the experience comes? It comes from accumulative skills. How many years you have been between hospitality and in the gym and fitness industry? How many years? Five years. So 5 years in being on operation. That's a good amount of experience. How did you use that and move it to a new industry? They call it accumulative skills. How did you manage that? Or what is the main takeaway of experiences it was in the previous job? You use it immediately here as an operation.
Well, the mentioned one, active listening. That's number one.
Okay.
Because to understand the client's needs,
Yes.
you need to listen.
Of course.
And unfortunately, in modern society, people not listening. They're just there waiting for their turn to speak most of the times,
Yeah.
right? And active listening means involved, trying to understand the person in front of you, trying to understand what their expectations are.
True.
So trying to understand what the needs of the clients are,
Yes.
and just being there. So I am a very empathetic person as well, which helps me. It can be a curse and it can be a benefit as well, because I know what the person is going through. For example, you have a podcast scheduled, right? So you have deadlines.
Yes.
You have responsibility in front of your guest.
Audiences, yes.
Audience.
Or guests, yeah.
Yes. And unfortunately, we have traffic, right? We have some unexpected circumstances that might interrupt your process. So you can be overwhelmed and you can be stressed. And we are here to assist you as much as possible to help you out. Empathy helps, the compassion helps to understand what you're going through and to minimize the impact on you. I even have, oh, can I play the voice message from the guest actually?
If it's okay with you,
If it's okay.
if it's okay, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
because like I'm not gonna name, but I'm just gonna.
So this voice message, why you would like to share it with us? What's the story behind it?
So me and my team are always there to assist, to help,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm very proud of the guys we have.
They're a very good team. Yeah.
They are, and they do their best always. They come out of their ways to help the clients and as much as they can. And just one of the clients I'm not gonna name shared this feedback.
Hi, my dear. I just want to thank you for yesterday's coordination and, the management of both of the sessions. They were amazing. Both of the guys who were helping me were great. Everything was done on time. No issues whatsoever. That was the first time that I have everything done on time and perfect. So I can't thank you enough. Yesterday it was for me a bit stressful because I had two sessions after each other. So it was a bit, to be honest with you, I didn't sleep at night thinking that I won't be able to manage. But with your help and how things were managed by the team yesterday and how they coordinated things and made things, work out, that was really helpful. So thank you again.
Yeah.
Well, that's a success story, success feedback. And this is what's worth it, to be honest.
To be honest, that's what makes me happy, to help others and to make sure that the process goes as smooth as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the moral of the voice message? A human being needs a human being.
True.
And we are all so stressed during the day, and just to make at least a little bit the other person's day easier, like to help as much as you can, like with a nice supportive word, or with in our case, trying to meet the expectation of the client, trying to assist them as much as possible, predict, anticipate what they might need, the coffee they like. That's what makes a difference.
I might be here biased, but finding you guys was the last part of the jigsaw for me to decide to go live, basically. So when I came here and I visited, I saw the setup that I look for, from equipment wise, from the studio size and so on, and the team behind it, to be honest. I knew from that time it's time to go live, because that was the missing piece of going live. So I raise my hat for you guys. Well done for the job, and you have done amazing. I'm sure nobody have came and did any session here, never came back, because the professionalism, this is one, and the quality of the product, it is what matter in the digital marketing, digital media or digital marketing domain, which is very important. I have I have a question. Maybe it's it's related, and it makes sense for people who are trying to find the proper skills so they can change their job. Do you think problem solving was a necessarily skills for you?
Yes, 100%, because it's what I do on daily basis, just problem solving.
Elaborate on that, please. That's enough.
Well, trying to be now still in your thunder, what would constitute a perfect day for you?
For me, like for today, I just wanted to make sure I'm not stuck in traffic, I'm on time, because I saw the schedule is back to back, so I don't want to take somebody's session, and I don't want to be stressed to, honestly, because stress will affect on the energy of the podcast itself. So this is one, getting the setup for the guest, everything ready and running. This is my objective in the end of the day. So yeah, in a nutshell, yeah.
What happens if everything you just mentioned goes wrong? So the traffic, you're late for podcast. Unfortunately, we cannot give you the extra time.
Well, the hellhound will be unleashed.
It's exactly when my problem-solving skills come on.
Yeah.
Because just trying to, obviously, the unseen, unforeseen circumstances always come on.
Yeah.
And the task is to manage it, to balance it out, to create, to minimize the risk, first of all.
Yeah.
And to create the perfect environment, just to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. It's obviously you cannot create perfect
That's true.
circumstances,
It's true.
but trying to minimize and trying to help, because again, I'm just going back to human interaction.
Sure.
Being seen, being heard, and helped out already makes you feel like, okay, so I matter, like I am taken care of, and that's what any business is all about. As for me, just to make sure that your clients are not invisible.
Mhm.
They need attention, they need help, and you're there to help them out.
This is what makes it or breaks it, to be honest, with business partnerships. I deal with a lot of companies and a lot of clients, and the main issue, it's the customer relationship, because again, you will be faced with unexpected situations, so you need help. So who are you gonna go for? Your supplier or your contractor in that day, in the end of the day. With our case here, you are the service provider for us. So if I will not get the proper attention, problem solving, if I have situation, definitely it will not be a positive experience. That's for sure. And problem solving and negotiation and active listening, I think it's, if you want to succeed in any business, you need to have those mastered, to be honest, because this is what all matters.
Master kit.
Master kit.
Yeah.
So this is as per skills. I asked a couple of my guests in this podcast about their secret power. What is your superpower?
My superpower, I would say negotiation, because I was called tough the other day. Apparently, I'm tough to negotiate with. Negotiation, anticipation of clients' needs.
That's a skills.
That's still superpower.
No.
All right.
Empathy was mentioned as a superpower.
So that's my superpower as well.
Because empathy, one of our guests, Alex, has mentioned that empathy has put him to, because also he comes from a fitness yoga industry. So empathy with him gave him the ability to really connect with his trainees, co-trainers, and so on. So that was his. And one other guest, she said her superpower was integrity.
I would say empathy.
Empathy. Okay.
Empathy. Yes, empathy, and can I call it compassion? Because I still see it as a different things. Compassion as well. And going back to So managing the stress in a stressful environment, right? You need to be very mindful and very connected to yourself. So being connected with yourself helps you to understand others as well, because the more you are in touch with your feelings, your emotions, you understand what's going on inside you, you are able to understand others the same way. And I guess that's one of the superpowers I have, just understanding my own emotions to understand others.
So putting yourself in somebody's shoes, and in modern business language, put it
Yes.
that way. That leads me to the second point, which is, I'm sure being here as an operation behind the scene puts you in a lot of stressful situation. How do you handle it?
I'm trying to craft some time for myself to make sure that I recharge, which is sometimes can be impossible because honestly, like most of the time, I just found 1 hour to be here in the podcast away from my phone, but it's still on the side. I already know that there are some missed calls and missed messages, so I'm a little bit anxious about it, but that's the time for me here to be present in the moment. So it's very important to find the time to switch off, to reconnect, to recharge, to restart. So
Yes.
what helps me personally, it's mindfulness exercises. That can be journaling, that can be breathing exercises. I recently discovered for myself the breath work and its impact on the recharge, restart,
Yes.
and how to go from sympathetic system to parasympathetic system to help you to relax. So that is must have, especially in the industry where you are constantly exposed to dealing with all the potential clients. You are in touch with a lot of people through the day. It's very important to find the time to breathe out, to recharge, to reconnect.
Absolutely, because I'm sure you're dealing with tens of different nationalities, different cultures, different backgrounds, education, mood swings, and depends of the actual situation of the guest who's coming and so on. That puts, I'm sure, puts a lot of pressure on people. And sometimes here what people differentiate. Some people, they can really still excel and perform under pressure, and some of them really they break through. So it's the fine line actually between how and when you need to disconnect, because when I looked at your schedule, it's 7 days a week. Am I correct?
Yes.
So that's a lot of, I needed to highlight here, because this is I need the listener and audience to listen from a real life example of working 7 days a week, or being connected 7 days a week, because this is similar to being your own boss for your own job. Please highlight more on that. Share with the audiences what's really happening. How is this working 7 days a week affect you?
It does affect me, but again, it's about how you manage to find at least some time to recharge. Because yes, we are open 7 days a week, and despite we have a super user-friendly website, we still receive a lot of inquiries to speak about the prices, the pricing list, and potential setups. So it's always conversations with potential clients.
You're always connected. That's the point.
I'm always connected. I'm always online. So please bear with me if I don't reply for 5 minutes. I will get back to you as soon as I can. By the way, that's a thing as well, because we live in a very fast-paced society.
And
right?
demanding society.
Demanding society as well. That's why I often face that people are getting stressed if you don't reply for like 10 to 15 minutes, which can be challenging, because sometimes I'm in the studio not able to reply to the calls or to the messages. We are doing our best to reply, to face all the inquiries we have. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and unfortunately people can get overwhelmed and stressed because of it. So 7 days a week, always being connected can be challenging. That's my own experience. But I'm trying to find always some time to recharge myself, to restart, so I can be positive, bubbly, and helping to others.
Ready to help people.
Ready to help.
Because if your cup is full, and this is what's happening usually in the operation, when with high demanding services like this one, when the people who are facing the client having their cup full, the service drops.
Yeah.
I would say the performance drops, and this is where the disconnect's happening. That's why people they shy away or run away from positions like that, by the way. Because it's when it's high demanding emotionally, brain capacity, being connected 7 days a week, that's not an easy job. So well done for that.
My pleasure.
How do you see, let's switch gears a little bit. Podcasting industry is started to becoming the new trend, considering to the normal media, let's put it that way. How do you find it in UAE? Does it I'm not talking about business secrets, but but it's how do you see that trend? Is the people having more appetite to open podcasting here, or does people use the studios for shooting for products or tutorials or something like that? Take us a little bit behind the scene. What's happening?
All right, it's a very interesting question. So let's start from the term. I'm a linguist, so I always like to,
Go for it.
to dive deep into the terminology. So podcast actually stands for iPod plus broadcast. That's how the word was created. And originally it was just for the digital audio files. Nowadays, when you say podcast, the first image that comes on your mind is
something like this.
Set up interview style, right?
Correct.
So the term was first used in 2004. So we didn't realize it, that for the last 20 years, podcast exists. But it became a trend just in the recent, I would say,
7 years. 7 years became the start of podcasting, because I remember at that time most of the not radio channels, especially when they have interviews, they always refer you to the Small Bite podcast, but it was not as a pod. It was part of the interview, but they trim it for certain size or duration. Let's put it that way.
Okay, I was about to say that 4 to 5 years, but I would agree with you, around 7 years. But recently it became more and more popular. Yes. And it becomes even more popular. So it's getting, like, I would say, almost every business showcase their expertise through the podcasting, because it's an amazing tool to present your business, to collaborate, to network, because also in Dubai it's big thing about the collaborations, right?
Absolutely.
So the businesses come together to share the audiences and at the same time to, again, showcase their expertise.
Correct.
So podcast is an amazing tool for that. So we do provide the podcast space, but we also have the clients to record their courses, video sales letters. So it's much more than just the podcast space. It's also the space to create any kind of video content that you might use for your social media. So Reels as well, the mentioned video sales letters, the courses are here for you.
The rise of the digital marketing and the rise of the digital appearance for businesses, main obstacle was, I'm saying it from a business, or because I'm into the digital marketing, one of the main obstacle for them, high quality content, whether it is written, whether it's audio, visual, and this is something like that. That's why I can see the rise of the need for such a setup is going to continue for the next 5 to 10 years, I assume, because I could see it from the booking. It's not easy to get enough booking for you guys, but this is good because it's a different how can I say, an added value to the market, which is you need it for the digital marketing, you need it for the podcasting itself, and one thing I found it, and this is what's exactly I faced it in my last TV interview. They will set you up, or they will prepare you mentally for, let's say, a half an hour or maybe 45 minutes kind of interview. But the actual airtime, it's 10 minutes. So think about it, about a business who's trying to come to promote itself or to share case study, success story, or even a product launch. They will not have that enough airtime with the legacy media or the traditional media. That's why podcasting has become one of the necessary tools, to be honest. Doesn't matter the quality of it, but as a concept, as a business. So there is audiences for it, and this is an industry. And even this became, even with Dubai trade license, they added that section. So they are gearing up for it, which is really good. A quick question. You have seen a lot of podcasts started here. What's the plus and minuses you saw?
Delay, procrastination, because the people are waiting for the perfect moment. So they will just record one video, see that there is no success yet. Mm-hmm. The key word is yet, and they delay, because actually it's never sudden breakthrough, right? It needs the accumulation of events to happen before you break through, before you break the cycle. So we spoke about the jigsaw before, right? So you need to collect all the pieces together to come with a perfect picture, with a perfect image, and then it's like, yes, now it takes it to another level. We are breaking through. So a lot of people would record only one video, expect it to be a success overnight. It doesn't happen, and they give up. No. And that's never happens overnight. It needs to build up. It needs to not to wait for a perfect moment, but to, I like the saying, a ship is safer in a harbor, but that's not what the ships are made for. They are made to go to the sea and to sail.
I like the analogy.
So not to wait for the perfect moment to start, because the perfectionism leads to procrastination. So just do it. Just step by step, podcast by podcast, and one day you'll wake up with 1 million followers.
Hopefully, guys, with your help. So yes. Share and subscribe. It's something that it resonates with me 100%. Because the time when I planned to start this podcast, it was not for the short run. I understand what is the requires for this to be really delivering the message. Because in the end of the day, for me, this podcast is meant to deliver a message. Yes, financial gains will be there. Very good. It will come. However, consistency is something that I will not compensate with. And this is my promise to myself and my audiences and my listeners, that this is the program. Every week there will be a guest, experienced guest with values that will be on the chair to share. This is my promise to my audiences. Is I'm not here to just, even the video, if it does not go viral, that's fine. It will take time to be viral at that time. But for me, as a message, I have delivered my promise to have a quality show when it comes to appearances, sounds, picture, and so on, and the quality of guests that they are here to share with them the advices, the whatever experiences, life experiences, because you can read it in a book, but it will not resonate with you. But when you hear it from this person, how many books have been read about stress? Yeah. Hundreds. But when you saw it with a person who lived it, that's enough. Because I call it, you can see it four-dimensional. You can see it from the body language, the face expression, the voice tone, the words they're going to use it. It all's linked together. So
you learn more from people than you learn from books.
There we go. And the journey started with you guys, and it's going to continue. If you have a suggestion for someone who's trying to change career, what will be your advice?
Not to delay, to jump into unknown, and to be ready that it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be comfortable at the beginning, but the puzzle will get together, the jigsaw will be finished sooner or later. So just jump into it. That will be your one of the pieces, and then the rest will just pull up, because you cannot stay in the same place. Again, going back to Heraclitus' phrase, the only constant in life is change. So just go for the change. Go for the new opportunity. Cross that fear, and you'll get what you want, because there is always uncomfort, but once you get through it, that's when the opportunity.
So do you think someone who's looking for a chance or a change, he should expect unpleasant journey?
It's never a pleasant journey, but that's exactly the beauty of it, because we expect always that everything should come easily and effortless, and we are staying away from uncomfort, right?
Yeah.
But all the successful stories start with discomfort. So that's why it's always you need to expose yourself, you need to try new things. And what's the worst that can happen? That's not yours. You're gonna go and try something else. And maybe the just first door, maybe the second door in front after that door will be yours, or maybe the third one. But staying in the same place is not gonna change your life. Moving forward is gonna change your life.
So from your perspective, taking the chance to change a career or stepping out of your fear always will have rewards behind it, or rewards hidden on that experience?
I would say always, but instant or delayed. Because the reward always be there. But sometimes you might not get it straight away. You might get it after years, and you would understand, oh, if I wouldn't change, for example, if I would stay, the Jumeirah group was amazing. I could stay there
it's a well-known group.
For the next 10 years. I could stay there, right?
Yes.
But I made the choice to change. And again, I made another choice to change.
True.
If I would be in the first place, I would never get where I am now. And sometimes you reflect back and you think, oh, why did I make that decision? But that decision would never, that decision actually opened the door, that opened another door, the third door, fourth door, etc., etc. So it was just, again, the pieces that we collect together and create a picture. So every step you make is a necessary one. Might not be rewarding at the beginning, but it's necessary because it's a jigsaw.
Final question here. What was the most rewarding part for your transitioning from fitness to podcasting? Not as an industry, as an operation.
Learning from everybody I meet, because we have amazing personalities coming to record their podcast, including you.
Thank you very much.
And I get the chance to communicate with each of our clients, to learn from them, and they all are an inspiration for me. So that is the most rewarding thing, I would say.
Well, in the end of this episode, as always, the time flies. I would say, thank you, Dubai Studio team. Thank you, Elena. And I will not forget Dinesh and Vida. They have done an amazing job. They are helping behind the scene and here, and they are saying wrap up and all this stuff. But it's the. I would like to listeners really today to listen to this podcast and really try to capture the moments that this is real. When stress and managing people and problem solving, it's real skills that you need to learn it. And plus, the active listening. A lot of our problems can be solved if you are active listener and you're listening, not just to listen and reply back immediately. Listen and try to find solution, because in the end of the day, what makes it or breaks it is finding a solution. And until next time, I would say keep pushing your boundaries, push the fear away, and try to step away from the boundaries that keeping you in a cycle that it will be in the end of the day a failure circle. Until next time, bye bye. And this is Apple Podcast. I'll see you in next episode. Thank you, Elena, for the time.